Hello race fans, and welcome back to race number 2 of the RWC Season 2. We're here at Daytona International Speedway here in Daytona, Florida, and the weather is just beautiful, absolute best that we can have, and it is proving to be very helpful for these drivers. Tons of fast times going around this road course here, and it's shaping up to be a really good race. In case you didn't see the first race though, we're going to do a quick recap. Isidro with Mercedes-AMG was your victor at Watkins Glen, so huge congratulations to him. He's actually qualified quite highly here in Daytona as well, so we'll see if he'll be able to extend his points lead in this championship or maybe even tack on another win. Unfortunately, Perez, Project G, and Ramsey, all three of them DNF'd in the first race of the season due to a very bad wreck towards the end of the race. So hopefully here in Daytona they can not only finish a race, but hopefully they can actually get some points for themselves for this season, because it's definitely not good to DNF and not get any points. But aside from that, race number 1 went very well. I want to say thank you to everyone that watched, liked, and even subscribed from that race and the shorts that followed. It means a lot, and it definitely helps push this series forward. So that being said, qualifying is done, practice is done, so we'll be going to the start of this race very shortly. Wyatt's Garage qualifying on pole yet again. That C8 Corvette definitely showing its speed this season. We'll definitely see if Chevy can just fix their strategy to get that car onto the podium, because it looked very strong at Watkins Glen, and it looks strong here in Daytona. So here we go, formation lap underway as they're coming towards the start finish line to start the race. Lap number 1, Wyatt's Garage on pole. Let's have a good time here at Daytona, Florida. Race number 2 is now underway. So here we go, nice and clean, rolling start heading into turn number 1. Wyatt's Garage in first, Gills in second. Isidro, your victor from race number 1, starting in 3rd place. Rice in 4th, Project G closing out your top 5 as the rest of your grid goes zooming through turn 1 here. Slight changes in the qualification grid, but not too different from the first race. Definitely showing that some teams are a little bit stronger than others here early on in this season, but hey, that happens sometimes. Teams are just going to have to switch strategies and maybe make some upgrades to their cars as the season goes on. A lot of drivers braking late here. Kudos Khalid going around the outside of Gao as he brakes very late, but Gao's actually able to hold them off. Thankfully, so far, lap number 1 looking to be relatively clean, which usually seems to be an issue for lap 1 at other races, especially last season. Last season, lap 1 was always a catastrophe. So thankfully, a lot of these drivers keeping it clean this time around. And yeah, it looks like we're going to have a good lap 1. Wyatt's Garage just absolutely pulling away. Only Gills and Isidro staying relatively close. A respectable gap between the 3. Battle going on between Mystics and Jensen. Mystics going through the grass, trying to hold his position, which he will do, but Jensen is all over him, trying to take that 4th place position fairly. Project G, respectable gap between them for Rigori, Ramsey, Perez. Everybody else seems to be starting to get into a single file line. Rice all the way down the field. What happened to him? As he started in 4th. And it seems pretty much since the beginning of the race, Mystics easily going on the inside. Jensen just diving. It seems that there is something wrong with that Toyota Supra, as it is just not keeping pace, as Project G now will look into the inside as they go on to the back stretch of this track. Ferragori gets an easy pass, and same with Perez. So yeah, no, there's definitely something wrong with that Toyota Supra. It is just not matching the pace of pretty much half the field. Ramsey looking to go on the inside now that he moves to the outside. So yeah, Rice just dropping positions like crazy in just the first lap. And sure enough, Ramsey looking to pass, which he will. Perez. Kudos Khalid now looking to pass. This is unbelievable. I believe this is probably the most positions lost in like the shortest amount of time that I've ever seen. So I'm not sure what is going on. Toyota definitely needs to bring that car into the pits and figure out what is going on, because if they let this continue, they will very much end in last place as Besnard now passes. Rice now falling all the way down to 13th position. That is incredible. Whoa, we got some contact at the front. Ramsey, Ferragori, and Perez. I believe there was contact between the three, and there's more contact actually between Ramsey and Perez. So maybe Ramsey is not very happy with Perez with what happened at Watkins Glen, because that was two of the three drivers that were involved in a very bad wreck at Watkins Glen, resulting in a DNF for the two of them. And cameraman goes back again, this time with Besnard. I guess something happened with Besnard that I didn't catch. Let's see here what happens going into the turn. Oh man, brake fade to the highest degree as he makes contact with the rear of Kudos Khalid. So very unfortunate there. Not sure. I say brake fade, but maybe he just got on his brakes late altogether. But yeah, no, that Ford was definitely not responding very well. Whoa, Batter with a deep entry, overtaking Casanova. Very, very nice by him. Honestly, Batter's, I mean, it's only been 2 races, but honestly, Batter's been looking pretty quick, honestly. Definitely on the higher end of the new rookies within the roster. Although it seems, did I miss something? I did miss something else. Another late break resulting in contact. Man, right when I was giving him his flowers too. That's quite unfortunate. So Batter will actually make contact with Hidalgo as Davi and Ramos fight for 19th position. Ramos will secure it. Oh man, this is probably my favorite camera angle at this track, which is such a nice shot. Very nice shot. And look at this gap between Wyatt's Garage, Gills, and Isidro. The top 3 just all by themselves this race. Mystics and Jensen still very close together. A fight definitely happening for 4th and 5th place. Fairley and Project G relatively close as well. 4-car battle. Never mind, scratch that. Mystics and Jensen will go into the pits. I guess pit lane is now open. And Fairley and Project G will stay out, as well as the majority of the other drivers, honestly, will stay out. It looks like it'll just be a small handful. Mystics, Jensen, Kudos will come in, Barth will come in, Gal will come in, Batter will come in, Hidalgo and Besnard. So pretty much everyone that had minor contact between each other will come into the pits and get those little issues fixed. So now we'll go back to the front, where again the top 3, Wyatt's Garage, Gills, Isidro, are all by themselves. Huge gap between the rest of the field and them. It's just incredible what they are putting on here at Daytona. Definitely showing very early on that those 3 brands, those 3 companies mean absolute business. Their performance just being, well, as you can clearly see, just well above the rest here in this field. Wyatt's Garage actually having the fastest lap of the race so far. We'll see if he can hold on to that between him, Gills, and Isidro. Because if he does, that will be another point for Chevy. As the rest of the field seems to have calmed down. Mostly everybody have pretty respectable gaps between each other now that we're heading towards the mid part of this race, which is usually about the time that this happens. Usually this is when all the gaps are created and everyone's pretty much just racing, well, obviously against each other, but also just kind of surviving the rest of the race. As we go back to the front, we'll do a quick ride along with Wyatt's Garage. Just listen to that C8 Corvette real quick. Wyatt just doing an absolutely killer job with quite a gap still between Gills, and actually it looks like Gills actually increased his gap between Isidro, so it seems Isidro, all things considered, is struggling a little bit here at Daytona, not as quick as he was as Walking Glen, as Ramsey goes on the inside of Project G. He makes the move happen. Project G caught completely off guard there as Ramsey gets the easy position. Very nicely done by Ramsey. Rice seems to be a few positions up now, back in 9th, I guess. Perhaps Toyota doing a few tweaks to that Supra, giving its pace back a little bit, which he desperately needed. So I guess we'll keep an eye on him the rest of this race. Everybody else seems to be pretty much single file. Again, respectable gaps between everybody. No real battles going on here at the midpoint of this race. Riot's Garage coming around to the start-finish line again to take us to the official midpoint of this race, lap 5 of 10. And yeah, that gap between second and third place has definitely gotten bigger. Apparently, Isidro is beginning to struggle a little bit. Not sure if it's him or the car, or simply it could just be the track. Maybe the Mercedes AMG just isn't as strong here. Moving on though, Fairley in 4th place, holding it quite strongly. Not really anything much to say there. However, Ramsey might have something to say about that as he's looking to close the gap, and he does, going back into turn 1, braking late now on Fairley's bumper. We'll see if he makes a move here momentarily. Project G and Furigori pretty close to each other. Rice pretty much by himself. Ramsey now pulling away slightly from Davi, who is now in 11th place. I would kind of like to go back to Fairley and Ramsey because it looks like they're definitely about to begin duking it out. However, it seems the cameraman, he might actually, we're back up to Furigori. We could kind of see Fairley and Ramsey there in the distance. It seems Ramsey was not able to make his move. Fairley was able to defend against him, so that's very good to see from Fairley. Now we're moving back down the order. Davi, as I mentioned, in 11th place. Very decent sized gap actually between him and Casanova. Jensen, Mystic, Gal, the rest of the field pretty much still in single file. As I say that though, Hidalgo and Barth and Batter actually, 3-car battle, 17, 18, and 19th position. They seem to be trying to scrap, as now we're on board with Kudos Khalid. Alright, so that was definitely an odd time to go for an onboard, as there was a 3-car battle going on behind him, or so it seemed, the beginning of one. So yeah, me and the cameraman are definitely not in sync here this time at Daytona. It seems Rice actually going into the pits at a very odd time, as it seems no one else will follow him, so we'll see what strategy Toyota's on. Maybe it was to do a quick update, which again, Toyota apparently needs this race, as they are extremely underperforming here at Daytona, especially in consideration to the previous season and honestly race number 1. Race number 1, I don't believe they were this down the grid, so maybe they did a tweak. I guess we'll see, as now we have about 4 laps to go, as the rest of the grid here continues to be single file. Not too many battles going on, not too many changes of position at this stage of the race. Wyatt's Garage still dominating with a ginormous gap. Gill's really the only one that might capitalize. He does stay out, so he will capitalize. Gills will move into first place for the first time this race. We'll see if anyone else follows. It seems Isidro will follow. Mercedes will stay out, so he'll take second. Wyatt's Garage taking a bit of time getting to his actual pit stall, though, so this might actually cost him more than I think. Chevy taking their sweet time here. And sure enough, Fairley, Ramsey, Perez as well, actually. Project G. Okay, yeah, so definitely Chevy will lose more position than I initially thought, which is definitely why your pit stops have to be fast. You definitely cannot slouch on your pit stops because it will cost you dearly. That's something that Chevy struggled with greatly in Season 1 when they were driving the C7 Corvette. And it seems they have yet to learn their lesson, as they will drop all the way down to 9th, which, I mean, they're still in the top 10, they're still in the points, but with only about 3-4 laps to go, they definitely have a lot of work to do now to try and work their way back up the order in a very short amount of time. I mean, they definitely have the speed, but now that he's in traffic, I mean, that's a whole different game. There's maneuvering through traffic, so we'll see if he can get it done. The order not seeming too much different besides the pit stop, so obviously Wyatt's Garage fell down the order. I think Rice lost 2 positions again. I think I saw him in 11th, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, moving back to the top, Gills, now all by his lonesome. He will stay out of the pits yet again, going on to lap 8. We'll see if Isidro will follow suit. And it seems like he will. So Mercedes trying to stay on the same strategy as Lamborghini. We'll see if it's fruitful for them, as he's currently in 2nd place. Even finishing here would boost his points greatly. He would definitely take a huge lead in the point standing, as Fairley now moves up to podium P3. But again, Ramsey looking for an opening. He heavy under braking, very late breaker, which is definitely proving to be potent, especially on the tighter section of this track. He's definitely gaining a lot of time just in these corners. Oh, and it actually looked like he almost went for it. He tried to go on the inside, but it looks like he might have lost traction, so he wasn't able to complete the move. And actually somebody else, Wyatt's Garage, looked on the inside of Ferragori. He actually, wait, did he, he passed Ramos already. I didn't even notice that. So Wyatt's Garage, and he gets the pass on Ferragori. I don't know if y'all saw that on the position standing. So Wyatt's Garage is definitely making short work of this field, trying to get back to the top. So definitely a nice job by him. Ooh, Rice with a very clean move on the inside of Jensen for 10th place. That was very nice. I guess it was so nice that the cameraman wants to go. Oh, they've been battling for a while. 3 wide? Okay, so apparently they've been battling for a while, for more than half the lap, essentially. Going 3 wide around Davi. That is insane. So we're going to get a couple different angles of this. On board with Davi, obviously having the best seat in the house for this incredible 3 wide pass by Jensen and Rice. On the inside and the outside simultaneously. That is insane. Rice and Jensen just going at it, not holding back. Rice trying to make the outside stick. He does momentarily. He's hanging on his quarter, but only momentarily, as they go in deep. Oh, he actually oversteers or understeers. I can't remember right now, but anyway, Jensen gets the very easy over-under. Rice chasing him back down. Man, that tiny mistake just made such a huge gap for him, but he closes it going into the turn, looking on the inside. He dives in. Jensen surprisingly giving him the room. I guess he knew he was going to go for it. Jensen trying to run him back down, though, into the corner. Is he going to do the same thing? He's gonna try, but Rice actually makes the better exit on the outside. Jensen tried to go on the inside, but he couldn't make it stick. That was a wild battle. Wow, I will admit, kudos to the cameraman for reeling us back to see that, because that was definitely, I don't know about y'all, but I thought that was a very fantastic battle between Rice and Jensen. Definitely needed something to spice this race up, as Gills, speaking of spicing things up, will finally enter the pits. Will Isidro follow? No, he won't. Isidro staying out with just 2 laps to go. What is Mercedes thinking? Well, I think I know what they're thinking. They just want to try to make as big as a gap as possible so that they can finally do their pit stop, because I do not believe that Isidro and Team Mercedes have done their pit stop yet. Fairley and Ramsey looking to do the same thing as they stay out as well, picking up the easy positions. Wyatt's Garage will also make his way back into the top 5 thanks to everyone pitting. However, Wyatt's Garage already pitted, so this is about to be very interesting. Ooh, Gills. I just realized Gills actually came back out in 2nd. Wow, so that was a lightning fast pit stop by Lamborghini. He came back out on the field in 2nd. As Rice looking to take 7th from Project G. He does momentarily, but he touches the grass and loses control a little bit. Was that contact between the two? Rice will go into the grass. Did he touch the wall? I guess we're about to find out. Cameraman rewinds it. I can't tell if there was contact there. There was definitely contact there, but either way, he touches the grass. He goes into the grass and doesn't hit the barrier. Rice somehow manages not to hit the barrier and holds his position, although maybe not for long, because Jensen's back and he's looking on the inside. Rice goes defensive, understandably so. Not too many laps to go here, so he definitely needs to finish wherever he's at. Wow. The last few laps of this race are starting to get very interesting. Everyone definitely starting to ramp it up. Understandably so. Like I just mentioned, you know, only 2 laps to go. Any moves that are going to be made need to be made now, as Isidro finally comes into the pits with literally no fuel. Gills will get the very easy first place, crossing the line onto the final lap. I can't say that I agreed with this call by Mercedes. It definitely will cost them. They're not coming back from this. Ramsey actually sticking it out. He will not pit, surprisingly so. And actually, now that I think about it, it's probably because he did pit actually very early on in this race. That's probably what it was. I just remembered he did pit, what was it, around lap 2, lap 3. Team McLaren pitted, so this may be the result of that. Them being able to squeeze out just that slight little bit of fuel on this last lap. So he will secure 2nd position. Isidro, Team Mercedes, albeit with the poor pit timing decision, they will still get him out back quickly. He will secure 3rd, so he will close out the podium. Jensen looking on the inside of Project G. Little rough there on the pass, but he gets it done. Very nice by Jensen, trying very hard to chase down Rice. I'm kind of curious if there's something going on there. As you can see, the tire marks from Rice just barely keeping it. Oh, yellow flag. Let's see what Jensen! It's Jensen, right? He just passed right after the pass from Project G. Are you kidding me? It kind of seemed like he just... Ooh, yep. He just loses traction. Which is interesting, because that was kind of foreshadowed when he was fighting Rice. That's the whole reason he didn't make it stick on the inside, is because he lost traction. So I guess it came to fruition there as he's trying to re-get... Oh, Perez! just slams the back of Jensen as he tries to rejoin. Kind of a deja vu moment from last race. Perez doing the same thing, trying to rejoin while there's traffic. So I guess you could argue that Perez kind of got his karma there, slamming into the back of Jensen as he tries to do the same. Wow, what a view from Project G, actually seeing the full spin there. Wyatt's Garage getting a relatively safe pass as... Ooh, Davi having a Code Brown moment there. Fairley gets barely by, but Perez will not have the luck on his side as he will slam into the back of that Audi R8. Wow, actually, it didn't even seem like he was trying to avoid it, honestly. So Perez is so far not in a very good light here at the beginning of this second season, being the cause of a pretty big wreck in race number 1 and ultimately kind of not trying to avoid a second one here in race number 2, but that's besides the point. We're not trying to end on a bad note. Ending on a good note for Team Lamborghini is that Gilles, their rookie this season, will get his first career win, first win of the season here at Daytona. Congratulations, Gilles and Team Lamborghini. Very nicely done here at Daytona. Second place will go to another rookie, Ramsey, with Team McLaren. So again, congratulations to Ramsey. Isidro will close out the podium in 3rd. Rice will actually surprisingly finish where he started in 4th. Project G will finish the top 5 in 5th place. So very nicely done to them. Gilles, Ramsey, and Isidro, all 3 of them looking to be very strong early on in the season, as if I'm not mistaken, well, obviously Isidro won last race at Watkins Glen, but Gilles and Ramsey, if I'm not mistaken, finished quite highly at Watkins Glen as well. Again, Rice finishing in 4th, Project G closing out the top 5. Wyatt's Garage will actually make his way back up to 6th, so very nicely done by him. A little unfortunate given his performance the majority of the race, but points are points. Perez questionably finishes in 7th place. We'll see what comes of that leading into race number 3. Fairley will finish 8th, Davi 9th, and Jensen will somehow manage to finish in 10th. Gao will finish in 11th with Team Ferrari. Kudos Khalid will finish 12th. Mystics will finish in 13th. Ferragori 14th. Barth 15th, Ramos 16th, Batter 17th, Heldago 18th, Besnard 19th, and Casanova will finish out the grid in 20th position. We hope you enjoyed this race. Please join us for race number 3. We'll see you next time. Peace.